Hello, welcome to part 16 of my 1956 Devin 295 SS, transforming it into a 1959 Ferrari 250 Testarossa Dash Le Mans replica. I am using computer-aided design, no, just kidding, cardboard-aided design to make my shape for the headlight bucket. So I take this shape here, I transfer that to aluminum, I drill out holes so that I can mount an $8 a pair delivered Amazon salad bowl out of aluminum. So this basically becomes the headlight bucket and it will fit in like that. I might actually contour this, weld this and contour it and shape it. It's not going to be a raw aluminum. I'm probably going to paint it silver to match the rest of the car. Stepping over here, this is another Amazon find. This is a baking pan that happened to be, I think it was 8 inches by 24 inches. So as with the real Ferrari, this will be red, and this was attached to the motor. So when you lifted the hood, the trumpets for the intake stayed there. These are the little strainer filters. So that will look very correct. I finished up with this escutcheon plate. I made escutcheons for the front windshield, and believe it or not, this one took 3 hours and 20 minutes. This one took 3 hours to make. I still have to weld those, but this is a very complex thing. When you first put clecos here, this corner is about that high up, and you slowly press it down as you contour everything. I basically made the scribe before, V-rolled it, and then used the shrinker stretcher. Unfortunately, my shrinker stretcher, you have to switch dies between the two, and sometimes you do 2 shrinks here, and then you have to do an expansion here, and you're changing the dies back and forth. Total pain, but the good thing is that's done. Stepping over to the cockpit, I have cleaned up the line of the fiberglass. I welded in brackets, and I have a piano hinge, so I can install all my gauges and do all the wiring without being underneath the dash, which is really gonna be a time saver. Here is a grounding block. I replaced this area of wood and put epoxy to hold it in. So that will be a little bit stronger, but I'm starting to feel pretty good about the interior. Made transmission tunnel with rivets. Kayla, my wonderful girlfriend, is gonna get in the car and do all the metal polishing because I decided instead of a Scotch-Brite finish, I kind of want a semi-polished look, and she volunteered to do the work, and I think that's just wonderful.
Yay!
Also have tires from, I'm trying to remember the company that sold me the tires, but they are period correct tires, and I really lucked out on fitment. I didn't want to have to shorten the axle. That would have been a pain. So right here, I have a faux aluminum cover for the door, and I'm going to show you how I make that. So I need a buck to round off these corners and tip them over, and I need to be able to hit it with a nylon hammer, which doesn't mar up the aluminum that much. So what I did is I took a hole saw and I cut into this wonderful header. I used the up down from my saw to press this board in, so now I have a nice little work surface here. I cut out with the Sawzall, so I have my inside radius, and shaped it a little bit with my flap disc. So when I put the corner in here, I can use this as the buck and to make that a smooth radius to match that with the internal radius. So this is probably going to take 1,000 hits. I tried with a planishing hammer a little bit, and that just tore up my aluminum. Apparently my planishing hammer is set up for steel. I put a little radius here to walk this over. And like I said, it's probably going to take a few thousand hits, but this will be inside the door panel, and it will look like this when it's with the door, just to give it a little bit more. This car's made out of aluminum look. So we will see you in about a week for kind of the final on the interior. I'm painting all the tubes silver and the dashboard silver, and then I will start installing the gauges and the switches, and I'm excited about that. It's starting to look like a car. We'll talk to you later.